So this one we actually bumped around a lot. We couldn't really Agent Carter.
We couldn't really choose.
Decide because it's really good.
Yeah.
But it's
so
not
different.
A superhero
I know.
TV show. Like it's much more like Cold War Russia kind of spy, Tim Taylor Soldier Spy kind of feel, where there is no superpowered people. There are some fight scenes, but it's not like
it's like really hand to hand.
Yeah, it's like hand to hand combat. It's not even like Daredevil, like ninja hand to hand combat. It's like I've got my Glock and I'm just gonna shoot at you and you chase and then run. It's like way more spy than superhero, and because of that, we were like kind of bumping it around.
Yeah, but then we were like, I guess we decided to recognize the fact that we took it as like a show. We decided to rank it, like rate it as a show. As a
show, not like a superhero movie. And as a show, this is great.
This pilot episode is incredible.
This is like really, and the title says it all. Now is not the end. That's the title of the first episode.
Yeah.
And it really makes sense because the show follows Peggy Carter, who, as you know from watching Captain America: The First Avenger, was his girlfriend. Or at the end, it kind of just left her like kind of
nowhere.
It's just just ended. Goodbye. Totally forget about you. But this show kind of picks up where that movie left off, where it's not the end of her story, and then like it kind of was in the movies.
It's really just the beginning.
Yeah. In the movies, it's the end of her story. After that, you just never hear it from her. Well, you hear it from her once, and then she died. She's like 90. But this really shows what happens in between, and that the fact that she actually had a life, which they don't actually show that usually in movies. It's like fight. Okay, we won dinner.
Yeah, I think it's also sure. I think it's also cool to because it looks back at like the beginnings of Shield, and we look at Shield all the time.
Oh yeah,
Agents of Shield. And we always imagine it as like something that's always been there because it's in all the Marvel movies too. It's just like
Ant-Man,
yeah, I know it's always there. But like now we actually see where it began.
Yeah, it's the SSR.
Why it began.
It wasn't even Shield. It was the SSR.
Yeah.
It wasn't even until and it wasn't even until her and Howard Stark started it. And on that note,
we should talk about
Howard Stark. It was really cool how they gave him
like a big in-depth character.
Yeah, they gave him like. And he's like actually plays a part in the storyline, which is cool because they developed him, and it shows that he's not. His son is like he's not a carbon copy of Tony Stark. Like in the first Iron Man movie, Tony Stark didn't really have morals.
No,
like he was selling like nuclear missiles to like everybody.
Yeah.
But in this one, even though they do kind of get the playboy philanthropist thing going on. He's like, I can't build this. This is wrong. I will not sell this. Then he locks it in the vault, which obviously doesn't go too well for him. They all get stolen. But it kind of fills him out where it gives him more of a character. But in doing so, it shows where Tony Stark was coming from. And like he didn't really like his father because his father was like
always away and like on business.
All
and like
over
here
the
we
place.
can see that he is.
Yeah, he's like going into boats with like random people even though he's married. I think all in all, it was a really good episode.
It was.
Yeah, and they have
and we get to meet Jarvis.
Yeah. Oh yes, I was just about to say that. Jarvis. So in the comics, Jarvis. I don't know if you guys know this, but in the comics, Jarvis is not like the
an AI?
circle on the wall.
Yeah.
He's actually a person. Like he's kind of like the Avengers version of Alfred. Actually, he's just pretty much Alfred with a new name. But he pretty much is. But in this one,
Edward Jarvis.
Yeah, it's like I'm Jarvis. Would you like a cup of tea? Which is pretty much. But in this one, it shows the actual human Jarvis, like who Tony Stark would have grown up with, and then named his AI after. And I thought he's hysterical.
He's incredible.
Yeah, and he's very he's all like, but I can't stay up late. I have to go home to my wife and make a souffle, which is not in place, like in it, it's like kind of like a superhero spy show, and then he's like, "Oh no, I have to go make my souffle." And it's like, buddy, you have your priorities all wrong. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, and there are a couple, like you guys just saw. There's a couple good fight scenes.
Oh yeah, she staples some guy's face like 5 times.
Yeah.
Don't do that at home. And there was the guy, one of the villain actually also plays the villain in season 2 of Gotham.
Yes. Oh, Theo Galavan.
Yeah.
Oh, and one more thing. Easter egg. We just noticed this.
Oh, yes.
Anton Vanko from Iron Man 2, Whiplash, the guy with the weird little lightning whips. His dad actually shows up in this episode as the Russian
Advisor,
scientist guy who works at Stark Industries, who they go to and like ask him cool questions about the
bomb.
Nitrogen, whatever it is. Oh, and about the nitrogen thing. That shows up a bunch of times.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually, that brings back, quick side note, Season 3, they actually bring it back in, and it gets stolen, and it sucks up a whole building.
And it's an Ant-Man.
And it's the same principle as Ant-Man, where it just goes shunk and sucks everything together.
The
Makes it all smell
implosion. That'd be cool if we had those things in real life.
Unless, of course, you were standing in the implosion.
That's true.
Then it would really, really, really suck to have those in real life.
I wonder where I'd go. Maybe a black hole. You know? Ooh, I'd be like sucked in.
Or you'd just be... Yeah.
That might be more likely, actually.
It's probably more likely. It's like, I wonder where I'd go. Well, in the ground. You'd be dead. I mean, that's what it's. So, that's our review of Agent Carter.
First episode. We'll
Was
talk
pretty
about
good.
it more later. So, we love The Flash. We just have to say that. It's my favorite show.
We even figured out the Speed Force.
I mean, no one's Zero, but that's another story. We'll see that later.
You have failed this city!
But yeah, and we like this pilot a lot. Because the origins, first of all, are incredible. I mean, they bring Barry. Flash is a pretty common superhero, but, I mean, we don't really see it. Like, there has never really been an origin story
For the Flash, yeah, they don't really ever do that good of a job.
Yeah.
It just kind of like, we got hit by, they didn't even, this one they did in depth with, the metahuman.
Yeah, definitely.
Usually it's like, he got hit by lightning, he got doused in water, and wow, look at that's all you need to become a speedster. I really want to find an electrical plug right now. But
and we get to see like his mother's death and how that affects him.
Oh yeah, and then he's like all kind of like stuck in a rut where he's like, I have to become a CSI. I have to solve my mom's case. I have to get my dad out of jail. And then he dies. Oh! Spoiler alert. Forgot I said that.
Why did you say that? Oh, come on, man. Whatever. Let's move on. We meet a couple of great characters in this first episode.
His adopted father, Joe, is, I think, one of the best characters.
He's hilarious. He's hilarious. I mean, he starts off as like the skeptic who doesn't believe in the powers because I mean every superhero show has them. Every single show. But then you meet like the true Joe who's just like literally like
shut the hell up, which you saw earlier, which is hysterical.
So funny.
Which it's like wow, God robbed banks. It's like good point. And the humor, the element of humor, like it wasn't like Arrow's like super serious. And there's like, we kill people, we snap their necks, and then we throw them into ditches, and then we like torture them. But Flash is more of a
it's an entire different like aura.
Yeah, it's like a very different feel where he's like, I will save you, compared to I will hurt you.
I mean, you got Cisco cracking jokes.
Yeah, like every
Caitlin's frosty, but that's just part of her character. We'll talk about that later.
Yes. Yes, we do.
And then of course there's Dr. Wells, who I love how in the end of this episode,
they have the reveal.
Yeah, it's like it like leaves you hanging really.
Yeah, especially if you're watching it the first time. If you're not, you're like, oh, it's the Reverse Flash. Another spoiler, by the way. I'm praying to goodness you guys have all watched most of this.
Because The Flash is incredible. And if you haven't, you have to watch it right now.
And then you'll be disappointed by my spoiler alerts. That too. I would say all in all, it was great. And it was a new kind of show. Like, what was this? This came out before all the other, like, really... I mean, Smallville had already come out, but, like...
Smallville's already there, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was already there, but Flash was, like... It's not really like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, it was kind of like a new kind of, like... It's much more like the comics where the Flash is like, I help people. Like he's more focused on saving people rather than punishing people.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like a new type of like Agents of Shield. Is like we have to track this guy down. We have to lock him in jail. And Arrow's like I have to track this guy down and shoot him in the head.
I mean, Age Shield now is different, but
yeah.
I mean,
How different? We don't know.
You'll find out later.
But I think it's a new type of show and it was really cool. I mean, not all the acting was phenomenal, but the show itself was great.
And it increases your adrenaline because when he's like running, you're like run, Barry, run.
Handshake.
It's got good music.
Yeah, great theme. As we were saying earlier, the Daredevil theme. This one's great too.
That's pretty much it. We love Arrow. It's incredible. But don't take it from me. Ask Oliver over here. How much do you like Arrow?
If you don't like Arrow, you have failed this TV show.
I mean, his origins are incredible. Like, on the beginning of the island, I mean, Oliver, you had such a hard time there.
Yes, I got shot.
How did you do it? How did you survive? I mean...
Ate small rabbits and birds. Oh! And I went to Russia.
And like, Coast City. But, you'll figure that out later. That's
Chinese tea.
But actually, that points out a good thing about this episode. It starts the flashbacks.
Oh, yes. They have... one interesting thing about Arrow is that it does, like, every 30 seconds, they have a flashback to when it is 5 years in the island. Which, occasionally, if you're in the middle of a crazy battle scene, can get annoying. But it's usually very interesting, because they almost have this, like, parallel storyline going on, where usually, sometimes annoyingly, something that happened in his 5 years away affects something now.
Yeah.
So, like, we found magic in the 5 years ago. Now we found magic again now. Season 4. And then, like, this happened, and Slade Wilson, etc., the Bratva, Season 5. Look at our Twitter posts. We retweeted something. Season 5.
By the way, that Russian stuff was actually hinted in this episode.
Yes! Because they make a joke about where the heck did he learn Russia. I mean, Russia. Where the heck did he learn Russian? Because in this episode... He goes, she drops like a bunch of fruit, and he's like, then he's like starts speaking Russian.
Oh, and by the way, one problem with that a little bit. I mean, he makes it seem like that person was like his big role model and a huge part of his life, and then she just never comes back again. It's like,
I missed you so much. Okay, you're fired. You didn't do anything to me. You failed my cooking. But I mean, in the long run, this was incredible.
I mean, making this pilot was like a huge leap of faith.
Oh, yeah.
CW. I mean, and it's like a small copy of Batman, Robin Hood-like character.
Yeah.
And made him into like an actual, like, incredible badass.
And he's like, as much as he's like, they do steal Batman villains. Like, Firefly, Ra's al Ghul. But they do have, like, Batman is always like, I will not kill. Moral standing. Arrow has this kind of like,
complex.
Yeah, give or take.
Like sometimes he's no killing, but sometimes he's like, this person's so bad I just have to kill him. Rachel.
Yeah. Or it's like, no kill, sort of kill, no kill at all, kill, no kill, kill again.
It's really complex and confusing at points. Oh, and Diggle comes in the show.
Oh, yes.
Well, you just saw him right over there.
The driving scene.
I love it.
It was hysterical. It really shows... It was just kind of, like, humorous, and it was a great way to introduce the character, because they're best friends. Like, they even say, like, they're brothers. They're best friends. And this kind of shows how...
And here we see where they
start.
began.
Yeah, they didn't start as best friends. They started as, like, employer-employee kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they got to know each other, and then they're like,
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about the incredible fight scenes yet.
Oh my gosh, yes. They really do. They do a great job of the fight scenes.
Yes, they do.
They, like, when Stephen Amell's, like, running on a building and, like, jumps off and, like, does a, like, flip thing. Like, they have some really good, like, parkour. It was almost like he was mimicking, like, still running on the island and doing jungle stuff.
Yeah.
Like, where he's, like, jumping on chains. And it kind of gives that cool, like, dynamic, like, this guy really trained, not, like, in a gym, but, like, actually out in the wild how to fight. I'd say with those, I personally think it's the best TV show ever. But that makes it one of the best times with Sam Jafford himself.
It really is. I mean,
yeah.
It's just.
And our top pick of all time.
It's all been leading up to this.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Phil Coulson's dramatic return on ABC's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I love this show.
I loved it too.
They took an incredible character who they killed off and they brought him back and they gave him his own series. But because he was dead, he doesn't have to be in the movies anymore. So they can just devote him to just being his own
his own
series.
personal storyline.
Yeah, and they did.
I mean,
he's so funny.
Like this episode specifically, though, this pilot episode, it's honestly like mind blowing in some parts. Because the only problem is that it's so good.
Yeah, it's too good.
That the rest of the season cannot compare.
Yeah, everything can. And then people were like, it's not as good as the pilot episode. No kidding! The pilot episode was incredible. It was mind-blowing. Like, show-stopping incredible. Like, they have witty comebacks, good fight scenes, dramatic monologues, as you guys just saw.
I love that scene with Mike, by the way. Mike, dramatic monologue.
Yeah, when he's talking to, like, who knows who. But he does that whole,
it was like...
You took my wife from me!
That was the point, who he was talking to. Dude, he wasn't really trying to, like, talk to someone.
Yeah,
he wasn't arguing with someone. He was just trying to get a point across.
Yeah, it was so good. And then, like, they have the witty comebacks and Phil Coulson's comeback. And they build it. It's like this big ragtag. What is Hydra? Ragtag team of, like, you have, like, the socially awkward scientist, the, like, hacker who isn't actually...
It turns out later,
government,
hint, to be, like,
a
super inhuman.
Then you have, like, super ninja assassin. Then you have, like, traitor backstabber. I mean, sorry.
While it's funny watching this episode because it's while he was still good.
Yeah.
Like, you actually kind of like him.
After watching, like, so many seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and then we had to go back and watch this episode, we were like, that's just so weird.
I know. It's really
because you like him, you're like, oh, this guy's cool, and then it's like, no, he's not. He killed all his friends.
Why did he have to
and
kill
he
everyone?
Dies! Serves him right. But, I'll have to say, other than that,
he dies multiple times.
yeah, he dies, like, yeah, bingo. But, yeah, seriously. But, it's so good. It's just so good. I mean, the Melinda May is so cool because it's just like, she's like a total badass. And it's not even until way later in season 3 that they even, like, clarify her story. It's super vague. Yeah. Like, Phil Coulson, they give him a little more depth and shows, like, the Phil Coulson humor. They have...
Fitz and Simmons' chemistry together.
Yeah. It's so good.
And now they're finding their relationship.
Yeah.
But later on.
Yeah, later on we'll get into that one. But it's kind of this whole, like... And the team really... They actually do work really well together.
And they're successful, like, all
the
time. But I have to say, though, what I really like about this pilot episode specifically is that it, like... So you watch the movies, and it brings you, like, a sort of feeling. Like, you know how it gives you the feeling of, like, Avengers.
Like, oh, yeah.
And for this pilot episode, they actually gave you that feeling. Like, with Mike jumping off the building.
Oh, when he does that slow motion, like, twisty fall, where he's like...
Like, you got the feeling, like...
This is an Avengers movie. Like, this is part of the MCU continuum.
I mean, they slowly stopped being like that a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Definitely.
They have come back, I think, in season 3 with a little more Marvel-y feel.
Yeah.
With the Inhumans and stuff. I mean, it's getting a little confusing.
And they're kind of going, they went a little too long with the Inhumans. We'll get into that later. But, I mean, like, this is super, and it's cool because it's like almost like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, you see, Iron Man, Captain America, front lines. Like, these are all the average Joes who are just, working for S.H.I.E.L.D. and, like, it's like, oh, wow, we have to find this thing. It's like, okay, we'll find the thing for you and then go back and just deliver it. And it's not like, it's like, waha, we will fight the evil alien. It's like, no, you're just boots on the ground. You're just the runner. That's what I like so much about it. It's like, kind of like, it's almost like a behind-the-scenes look at what S.H.I.E.L.D. is. Yeah. And what the Avengers are. That was incredible. Like, honestly, that, like, hands down, the minute we watched that, it was like, that's That's number 1.
Thank you for watching our pilot episode where we ranked the top 9 comic book related TV shows pilot episodes. By the way, like, comment, and subscribe to Nerd National.
On YouTube.
Check out
Facebook.
our Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah. And check out our we're just got our new website up, nerdnational.weebly.com. We'll be posting videos. We actually have a couple music playlists on there now.
Yep. And there might be some merchandise later
Oh
on.
yes, t-shirts. We'll be getting our own t-shirts.
Nolan made some incredible drawings, which we're incorporating into t-shirts.
Yeah.
Should definitely buy them. Check
Oh
them out.
yeah. Also, make sure you
Um,
send in new email questions every week. We will answer them, and you might be chosen as the next person we will respond to. Thank you. Have a nice week.